This is Pamela Ruth from Lewis Jordan Weddings. Today's topic of discussion is really important to a lot of newly engaged couples. Everybody has this posing question: shall we plan our own day, or shall we get the help of the experts? What is it going to cost? What will it entail? Will it even be beneficial? It'll be a breeze. I'm sure we can manage this ourselves. Well, this is what a lot of brides and a lot of grooms tell themselves until they get to the sticky point and realize that it's just overwhelming, it is very stressful, and they cannot manage to fulfill what it is they actually want for the vision of their day. So today's talk, I just want to dispel any illusions that you may have about acquiring the services of a wedding planner and the benefits of why a wedding planner is important, especially in these day and age and times that we find that life is overwhelming, can be stressful, and a lot of the times we just literally do not have the time. The resources may be there, but the time is very limited. So let's say, for example, you have got 12 months, 6 to 12 months to plan your wedding. You have a normal 9-to-5 job. You have responsibilities. You have children. You have friends, family, hobbies, things that you do usually outside of your own schedule. And you have this amazing day that you want to plan to solidify the love that you have for each other in a host of witnesses and make it the most amazing and almost close to perfect day that you've ever lived. So hence, this is why we say, take the opportunity, if the resources avail, if the budget avails, take the opportunity to go to someone with the expertise who actually knows, who actually has experience within the industry, and that can give you a seamless and trouble-free day. So we'll go through the main benefits of having a wedding planner. First and foremost, you need to set the date. So that's something obviously the two of you can agree, looking on your working schedules, looking on the availability that you have with your annual leave, the time that you'll need to take off to go for your honeymoon, as well as what coincides with your families and is agreeable in terms of a good date to plan your wedding. Also, bearing this in mind, you have your high seasons and your low seasons. The expensive times of the week to get married obviously start from Thursday right through to Sunday, and then obviously during the week it's a lot cheaper. But just securing a date in itself will determine a lot of factors, but that's one thing that you can actually do for yourselves. Then following on from that, you need to make the announcement that you guys are engaged. Congratulations, that you are now going to have everybody receive a notification to say that you'd like for them to save the date and attend the wedding of your dreams. Following on from this is where you would now engage the services of a wedding planner. I myself, having been in the wedding planning industry for the last 20 years, I am very, very much aware of the stressfulness that it entails in the whole journey from start to finish of planning your dream day. So the main three things that I would say from my experience that are the most stressful, amongst a list that can be endless, would be finding the perfect venue. So a wedding planner, you'll sit down with them, have consultation as to what you want for the vision of your day. Following on from there, you will then start thinking about the venues that you would love to try and go and see, to secure for the date that you've already discussed and agreed upon. And I find that this in itself is probably the make or the break of your day. There'll be so many factors that are determining you securing your venue. So for example, it could be that you want to have an outdoor wedding. You need somewhere that's scenic, that's picturesque, has got well manicured lawns, has enough daylight, sunshine, can accommodate for an outdoor marquee. You may want an indoor wedding. You may want somewhere that's not centrally localized so that you don't have some unnecessary gate crashers attending. Or you may want to just have something in a barn, in a field, on a farm, something rustic. You may want to have something that has a triangular location, so whereby you have a church, you have a botanical gardens, and you have a venue very close to each other in proximity, which will also allow for you to have less travel time and to keep your guests all sort of together in a bundle. So there are a lot of factors that you would need to consider when you are looking at your venue finding. Going on from there, the next biggest important thing that your wedding planner can do for you is to secure your dream team vendors. So this will range from your flowers, your cake, your cars, your dress, the groom's attire, whether you are hiring outfits, whether you are buying outfits, whether you want a provision for drones, your photography, your videography, which will be obviously your long lasting memories for the day. All these need to be sourced. You need to find people that have a good reputation. You need to find people that have had a long-standing relationship in the industry. You need to find people that are going to be reliable and that have a high reputation in terms of testimonials. You need to also have the assurance that they can deliver the product and the service that they say that they can provide. And you can do this obviously through a number of channels, but ideally and essentially having a wedding planner means that that stress is taken away from you and you can always check in. So the way we work here at Lewis Jordan Weddings is we have what we call a schedule on Calendly where we have meetings via Zoom or in person, and we check in week to week as to how the schedule is going, and closer to the day, once things are more secure, it could be a check-in once every fortnight, once every month, leading up to the wedding day. Now, the third aspect of having a wedding planner is obviously once all this journey is achieved, once all this journey of planning has been established and we're coming up to the day, we discuss what we call wedding coordinating. So that will be having a team that is on the ground on the day, stationed with the groom, stationed with the bride, stationed at the venue, stationed at the church, and we all coordinate together to ensure that you have a seamless day. That means your bridesmaids are not having to do jobs, your groomsmen are not having to do jobs, your mother and mother-in-law are not having to do jobs, your best man is not having to run around other than to do the immediate jobs that he needs to do, factored into his role for the day. You are not relying on vendors just finding their way to the venue, or being late, or not being on time, or placing things in the wrong aspects of the room. Having the team on hand just means that we communicate seamlessly and we ensure that we have a detailed chronological order of how your day is going to pan out, how your day is going to pan out timely from minute to minute to minute. Don't forget, guys, that the wedding day itself goes by so quickly. In the blink of an eye, you're married, you're in that car getting ready to go to the Four Seasons Hotel or to the Maldives, and it's over, it's done. But what remains after that day, post-wedding, is what we also provide as a service. So we'd make sure that your gifts are safely delivered to wherever you need them to go, would make sure that all of the vendors collect their props. There's what we call setting up and setting down after your actual event has taken place. We also ensure that you have arrived safely at your designated honeymoon. We ensure that your guests, if they're staying over, or if they've traveled in from abroad, Canada, Africa, New Zealand, whichever destination they've come from, that they are settled for the following days post-wedding. We also ensure that we take safe receipt, as we said prior, of your gifts and your belongings and all the things that you've entrusted to us. Now, a lot of vendors, unfortunately, can leave their props and items lingering on for a couple of days after. So we chase that up and make sure that that doesn't happen. We don't want to annoy the hotel or any venue that we have an agreement with or have close partnership working with. So aside from these three big main aspects, finding the venue, finding the vendors, making sure that post-wedding everything is taken care of, we have a mandate to give you the best possible experience with our company to ensure that your day runs so smoothly. And there is always what we call the plan B, the behind the scenes cleanup. So we make sure that you don't get to know about this. Nobody's coming to the top table every 2 minutes to ask you, oh, what do we do about this? Where do you want this to go? Uncle so-and-so has just turned up. How do we accommodate for him? Oh, are the band and the musicians receiving any food? Do we need to feed the photographer? Who's paying for the outstanding vendor bills? Does anybody have any cash to pay for the Uber that grandma's just arrived in? So these are things that happen, and over the years we found that even the details of the most minute thing needs to be given that provision of thought, given that provision to make sure that all angles and all areas are covered. Now, details are below if you would love to take this journey with us here at Lewis Jordan Weddings together, as well as our Instagram page, as well as our Facebook details, as well as our TikTok page. We really look forward to spending the time to get to know each other prior to the journey. Would like to do what we call a 30-minute free consultation where you can talk to myself, I'm a senior coordinator, or any of the other coordinators within our team, in order for us to establish whether we will work together as a good fit and also what your requirements are. So please like, subscribe, and share this video and give us